of the Rhode Island Turnpike and Bridge Authority is now called to order. First item on the agenda, do we have any public comment on anything?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we
Yes,
have
sir.
public comment. Fine, I thank you for the opportunity to make a public comment.
You know who you look like? Joe Theismann.
Oh,
A
good.
little bit. Can you throw a football?
No. Yeah, I was a wrestler. Good morning, and thanks for the opportunity to present here today. My name is Steve Ruggieri, and my colleagues here are Steve Cloven and George LeBlanc, and we're residents of Bristol, Rhode Island. We represent a group of East-based stakeholders who have growing concerns about the safety and condition of the Mount Hope Bridge. We're here today to present an important public safety matter to the board, to get board attention on this matter. And we're requesting transparency and a release of the November 24th biennial inspection report of the Mount Hope Bridge. We feel that a lack of transparency and oversight on Rhode Island bridge inspections has resulted in safety, economic, and social disruptions. And RIPTA states that the Mount Hope Bridge is safe, and we say if that is the case, then please release the November 24 report because it'll substantiate your claims. So the public deserves to have proof of this fact that the bridge is stated as being safe. We have made numerous requests. We've met with Lori and Eric in August for a summary of the inspection reports over the past year, and we have received no satisfactory response. It is an accepted best practice in New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts to publish summaries of bridge inspections. In fact, RIDOC publishes summaries of bridge inspections. And not stand behind a blanket SSI designation which shields useful information from the public. The George Washington Bridge, as you may know, it's the busiest bridge in the world, and it is not designated SSI, yet the four RIPTA bridges are designated as SSI. Inspection reports are not available. So to us, this does not add up. So the board has a responsibility for public safety, and it is really in the public's best interest to have full information on the condition of the bridge in this era where people are requesting transparency to build trust and confidence in the statements that are made. So we have a few questions for the board that we'd like to pose. One is, has RIPTA made any progress in developing a summary of the November 24th inspection report to prepare it for the public and release it to the public? I know we had discussed this back in the August timeframe to say, you have the ability to review a report and redact whatever you feel is a specific security vulnerability and release the balance of the report. So has any progress been made on that request?
What I'll ask you to do is, instead of, I'll look to legal counsel. Would you want to address each question individually, or would you?
So, Chairman, the organization is free to give, this isn't a matter on the agenda, but an informational response to any public comment that is given. That's at our option. Obviously, best practice, my other quasis is if they can be submitted to ask the staff to prepare for the board and maybe have the chair review a response in writing. If there are specific questions that need to be addressed, but that's not on for discussion today. So,
Okay. So
we should limit comments to a informational response if we feel we're capable of giving one at the end.
The reason why I asked what I asked is I was going to ask Mr. Ruggieri if you could submit, once you're done, if you could submit your questions in writing to our executive director, and then I know Lori will sit down with whomever legal counsel and me as chairperson in response to your inquiries. Now, I can't answer whether you'll be satisfied or not at this time, but I can show you that you will respond. So continue if you'd like.
Yeah, we noted that on today's agenda there was an interim inspection discussion on the Mount Hope Bridge, which just prompted us to be here to discuss the concerns that we have over the Mount Hope Bridge. And so that's first question, and if we're not going to discuss it, we'd be happy to submit it, please, to you, in writing.
did effectively.
And effectively, we did submit almost this exact question We had I guess the pleasure of meeting Lori and Eric for 4 hours in August, and we had really a full and complete discussion on a lot of points of concern. But this was one that came up, and we discussed it. Didn't get an answer because I think the contractor that you have for the inspection does not submit a summary report, but we asked that one be done retrospectively. In other words, review the report and go ahead, and RIPTA has the ability to review it, redact whatever information, and then release an appropriate summary for release to the public. Because people are concerned, and the point is simple. If the bridge is safe and you state it as such in this environment, then show the public that you want to engender their trust and give them the information beyond saying trust us. And that's really what the point is. The second question is, how was the Mount Hope Bridge inspection report designated as SSI? Because to us, it's not clear. TSA typically does not do a systematic review of all bridges in the United States. In fact, RIDOT doesn't even have any bridges designated as SSI. And as I said, you've got iconic bridges in the United States. The George Washington Bridge, the busiest bridge in the world, one of the most important and security-sensitive bridges in the world. It is not designated SSI. If you go to New York State and New York Port Authority websites, you can get copies of the reports on the George Washington Bridge, including all of the improvements that they have made over the years to improve the condition and life extension of the bridge. And so, to us, this is an open question. How did the Mount Hope Bridge get designated as SSI? And also the Secana River Bridge and the Jamestown Verrazano Bridge. Because, as Eric pointed out in the Tim White June investigative report, the cable suspension bridges are critical fracture bridges. And they have not single point failures, but they have failure mechanisms that are unique. The other bridges are truss bridges, and they don't. So to us, it doesn't make sense that they were all designated as SSI. And in fact, that the George Washington Bridge is not, and the Mount Hope Bridge is. And so those are the key questions. And the other point, I know that Lori had said that we have, that RIPTA was submitting the report to TSA for review. And that was back in April, I think we did it. And so we're wondering what the status of that request is, with TSA. And given what's going on with DHS and TSA, we wonder whether or not we'll get an answer. But that's, another point, is that was an expedited review of the report to say, what can be redacted, and is it actually their role to do that? Did they designate it as SSI, or did that come from someplace else? And Mr. Chairman, the other request that we have is depending on how these responses come back. We'd like to know if we could get on the agenda for the January 21st.
You're always welcome to request being put on the agenda.
Okay, we appreciate that.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah. There any questions or clarifications on what our asks are of the board and why we're here?
I have one request. If you can just, for everyone's sake, if you can put that in writing and get it off to our executive director, which I'm sure she'll share with Mr. Seabury and whomever else needs to get involved in it. And you'll respond in a timely fashion per usual. Okay? And then if you want to be put on the agenda, then just again make the request. And again, for everyone's, you put it in writing.
We'll be happy to do that. Okay, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Steve.
Yes,
Just
sir.
follow up on your point. Will this be minuted in the minutes of this board meeting? These requests? Or requests to the board? We're coming.
Yeah, public comment will be included.
It usually is. It usually
So we'd
is.
like to just ensure that this will be minuted in the meeting as a request from the public.
Should be.
Okay.
And this meeting is recorded also.
I believe so.
Correct. And that gets posted also.
Okay,
So
thank you.
you can watch yourself when you go home tonight.
It's never a good thing.
further comments by anyone? Okay, thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is to approve the minutes of the November 19th, 2025 board meeting and executive session. Do I have a motion? Motion by Mr. Gennaro, second by Ms. Pinch. Discussion, hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Thank you. Next is discussion about the Jamestown Verrazano Bridge deck evaluation with pier sealing and the Newport Bridge deck and sealing task order.
I'll take that.
Yes, sir.
Chair. RIPCA staff budgeted $1.8 million this fiscal year for repairs to Jamestown Verrazano Bridge deck wearing surface, sealing of the wearing surface after the repairs, and sealing the 40% of the Newport Pell Bridge deck that has already been rehabilitated. Majeski and Masters performed the most recent routine inspection of the Jamestown Verrazano Bridge and has the location information on the necessary deck repairs. RIPCA staff requested M&M to submit a proposal to prepare bid documents for the deck repairs and the deck sealing work on both bridges. M&M also suggested that additional non-destructive deck evaluation be performed to identify if there's any correlation between the locations of decks falling and any underlying reinforcing. RIPCA staff agree with the additional deck evaluation as part of this work. M&M submitted a proposal in the amount not to exceed $213,787 for design and construction support services for this work. RIPCA staff reviewed this and found it reasonable for the scope of work outlined, and we recommend approval to execute a task order and fee with M&M in the amount not to exceed $213,787.
Do I have a motion? Motion by Peter, second by Karen. Questions, discussion? Peter?
Just want to point out, I think it's a very thorough proposal in favor of it.
Yeah, they did a nice job, so thank you for that.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion, it's duly seconded. Further discussions or questions? All those in favor, do you have a question, Charlie? No. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Thank you, Eric. Next is the Mount Hope Bridge interim inspection task order.
I'll take that as well, thank you. Federal Highway requires routine bridge inspections every 2 years. Mount Hope Bridge inspection was completed by a team in November of '24. Federal Highway will also recommend an interim inspection of any areas of deterioration identified during the comprehensive routine inspection. So that interim inspection would be done on the off year and is typical on a bridge like this. Purpose is to monitor conditions identified until the repairs can be programmed and completed. So the interim inspection will be scheduled and completed in December of '25 or January of '26, depending on weather conditions. RIPCA staff requested Attain, our on-call consultant, to submit a proposal for the interim inspection, and Attain has submitted the attached proposal in the amount not to exceed $55,834.24. The cost included in this proposal was benchmarked against previous similar inspection costs for bridges under RIPCA care and custody and found to be reasonable. However, I do want to note that we requested Attain to include costs for equipment rental and traffic control totaling $24,160 as part of that proposal that they submitted. But we internally plan to allow Attain to use our UBIU, which is the underbridge bucket truck, and we will also provide traffic control for the inspection. We asked them to include the cost just in case that for some reason we could not provide those services at the time of inspection.
So this 55,000 includes or does not include?
The 55,000 includes the 24,160. We do not anticipate having to spend that extra 24,000. It's in there as a backup just in case. For let's say we had some mass sickness in our maintenance department and we couldn't provide those services for them, they would be able to rent a UBIU and provide traffic control with the approval of the 55,000. We only anticipate using that 55,000 minus the 24,000. So
Less than 20.
because we will perform the traffic control in-house and give them the UBIU to use. So
Yeah.
so we'd be spending significantly less. That's what we anticipate. So
Yeah, so you
so I'm recommending that we
not to exceed the 55, but chances are it'll be.
chances are we'll be spending about 30,000. That's right. And which is along the same lines of the last time we did an interim inspection was in 2021, and it was about the same cost at the time. So we're recommending that we approve the task order in the amount not to exceed the full $55,834.24.
Understood.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve as presented?
So
Motion
moved.
by Karen, seconded by Charles. Discussion, hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Nice job, thank you.
Thank you.
Next is the Newport Bell Bridge Tower Elevator Cable Replacement.
Yep, I'll take that as well, thank you. So on October 24th of this year, RIPA staff solicited bids for replacement of the travel cable for the elevator in the Newport Bell Bridge West Tower. There's one in each tower. The elevator is currently out of service because the cable needs to be replaced. It was identified as the cause of the disabled elevator and requires replacement. On November 21st of this year, one bid was received for the repair and publicly opened on the same day. Atlantic Elevator South Incorporated submitted a bid in the amount of $24,250. Atlantic has performed work on these elevators previously, and the bid price was determined to be qualified. RIPA staff recommend approval of a construction contract in the amount of $24,250 with Atlantic for this replacement of the elevator travel cable.
Thank you, Eric. Questions?
Just a comment. Eric, you might want to mention about the fact that these towers are going to be renovated and updated in current work just coming up, but this
Yeah,
will.
so that's a good point. So as part of the infra project bundle on the Pell Bridge, we will be rehabilitating the elevators in both towers, which would include any additional cable replacements, upgrades to controls. The tower, the elevator cab will be maintained. You can't really get it out of the tower, and there's nothing wrong with the cab. So what will happen is, the good thing with this is this will get the elevator back in service for now, because we do utilize it with our own maintenance staff. It'll just not need replacement during the infra project. So any additional work to the elevators will still occur as part of the infra project, but this replacement will get the elevator back into service for us, so in the meantime.
Chair,
Yes, sir.
what's the schedule for the info project?
We plan on going to bid somewhere around February of 26. We anticipate some work will probably start in the fall. I'm not sure, we don't know if the contractor will, for the deck, so what we're doing is we're combining the deck, the towers. I'll talk a little more in the capital updates about
okay.
where we are.
All right,
But we're combining the projects, and we'll go to bid for all of them in February, and we'll probably see some work happen in the fall. I'm not sure it will be full-blown doing the deck rehab yet, but that's what we anticipate.
And the length of the project?
About 3 to 4 years, 3.5 to 4 years for
Okay.
everything, yeah.
Okay. Further questions? Hearing none, do I have a motion to award the contract as submitted to, was it Atlantic?
Yes.
For the amount not to exceed $24,250.
So
Motion by
moved.
Karen, seconded by Charles. Discussion, hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Okay, thank you. Next is the lease of modular space for customer service operations.
Good morning. This discussion item, this discussion item addresses the need to secure modular space to expand the customer service center, which has exceeded its current capacity. Due to significant space constraints and increased operational demands, the existing facility can no longer adequately support staff or customer needs. The addition of the modular space would provide essential workspace, help maintain service quality for the customers, and ensure that daily operations can continue without disruption. RITP has already implemented several modifications to the building to help the tolling department manage the current space limitations. In the walk-in center lobby, there are currently 8 seats, which would be relocated to the modular space. This adjustment would open the lobby for customer seating, enhance staff safety, and create an environment dedicated to just in-person customer service.
Okay,
So, Mr. Chair, this is on only for discussion.
that was just, yeah.
Yeah. And so just to echo some of what Jamie has said, when we had a toll plaza outside and we had open road tolling only in the middle, the walk-in center was suited to the amount of traffic that came in to do Easy Pass business. Now that we're all electronic, no plaza anymore, no, all electronic, either bill by plate or the Easy Pass system. We have a volume of traffic in that walk-in center that's quite significant. Similarly, we have volume of traffic on the phones and on the internet communicating with us. So, we have been, this is a work in process. We have been discussing the fact that the walk-in center really should be for our walk-in customers. And we should not, for various reasons, it's really not practical and doesn't serve our customer base well if we have people who are doing functions other than serving walk-in customers sitting out there in the walk-in area. And customers look and say, why is that particular employee not helping me? That it doesn't appear, so we really had, sort of made a basic, we are respecting the basic premise that the walk-in center should be for the walk-in customers. And that will allow us to move, some of the other employees.
So what you're going to do is, I would imagine, is investigate, there's probably only a certain amount of companies that have these types of, trailers, I don't know what they're called actually, so, and get pricing,
Yes.
put together some type of spreadsheet that you can present to the board at a future. Perfect.
The preliminary numbers show it's about 30,000 all in for 6 months. The nice thing is if we rent it, and 6 months from now we may find that
Can you
our.
rent at least to buy?
You
Well, you
can.
can look into that. That's, let's not get ahead
Yeah.
of ourselves, but I know Karen has a question.
That was part of my question, is this a long-term solution or is this a temporary solution? Because you think the walking traffic is temporary, or do you see this traffic as being a consistent thing where eventually we would have to do an addition or do a more permanent
Yeah,
building?
great questions.
Great.
We don't know yet what the new normal is going to be.
We're still
So,
trying to figure that out from the back office migration and everything, so we're trying to just figure out, is this what it always will be, or it'll go down over time?
and there are so many other functions that our lean staff does a lot. I keep saying we're little, but we do a lot in under one roof, really. And so we're looking at all the functions and how we might make adjustments in those functions, and we'll know the new normal probably in 6 months.
Getting on what Karen said, is there a way to track that, Jamie?
Yeah, we can track like how many customers we're getting in the walk-in center. Phones as well, we have stats to prove that. So walk-in center, we usually do a tally count of how many people come in, so I do have stats on that, how many customers we're serving. On average, we're serving anywhere from 100 to 150 people a day. And so it's a
And has that been consistent over?
For the most part, there's been peaks and valleys, but consistently, that's generally the normal number. The lowest days I've seen in the last couple of months have been like 83, 90, but they're pretty much staying between those numbers consistently.
I have a
Yes,
question.
sir.
Do you know what are the kind of classifications of issues that people come in with?
Primarily, people are coming in to either open new accounts, address invoices that they have, as well as transponder dead batteries, or also purchasing additional transponders, as well as account maintenance.
And you get walk-in traffic pretty much evenly distributed among those kinds of questions?
Yes, majority. And then we also have customers that are coming in seeking supervisor assistance for either DMV holds or traffic tribunals that they're on payment plans for, or during our collections program.
And they choose a walk-in as opposed to a web-based
Yes.
question and answer?
A lot of people still like that face-to-face communication, which I've kind of figured over the years here that it ended up fizzling out. Everyone likes to do everything online, make it seamless, but a lot of people still like to come in and get that face-to-face interaction with us.
Do these come pre-wired with electrical and all that, and like what would there be complications in getting your IT into that building?
We would really have it that the electrical would have to go in there. We would issue it with Frank to do it. It would seem pretty seamless from my understanding of what we preliminarily looked at.
We'd have to install a service. We'd have to figure out the data. We don't know any of that yet.
What about zoning?
So permitting is not easy today because the state more recently has changed their regs to consider trailers as permanent office space. The days of just calling up and having a trailer dropped, which used to be done, is long over. It requires state permitting, ADA access, which means switchback ramps installed. There's lots that goes into installing a trailer today. It's not like it used to be years ago. It takes time, it takes extra money, and full permitting as a permanent space.
Should we also look into the possibility of putting up a permanent, addition someplace?
It's all stuff that, good questions,
Yeah.
right?
And it's all on the table. And this is where I'm proud of the staff because this requires finance, engineering, and tolling, and the executive director, and the staff here to
Yeah.
all work together to figure out what's in the best interest of our customer base and our employees. I mean, we've everything's on the table. I mean, the customer service reps require supervision so they give the correct answers to the customers on the phone. So that's why we're talking modular space right on the property where the supervisors can move in and out of this building into that modular space to supervise the customer service reps. Otherwise, we might be looking at space elsewhere. But we're looking at everything, and we're looking at other functions that we could take away from the customer service staff so that they are less burdened, with no loss of jobs, by the way. So
Like I already reached out, for example, to Warren Ducharme in the state building official's office, and I said, listen, here's what we're thinking of doing. There will be no customers going into this facility. He said it doesn't matter. He said you still have to permit.
Really?
He said even though it's your own employees, it's got to have EDA, it's got to have, he said it doesn't matter whether there's customers going in or if it's your own employees. He said they
How
treat it
many
the same.
employees would you?
It would be set up for 8.
Eight
Yeah.
employees.
That's what would fit in one trailer.
All right, so,
That's the biggest trailer you can get. If you go beyond that, you have to just get an additional trailer, so.
okay, so everyone knows that they've been tasked with permitting,
Mhm.
pricing, and I would go beyond that as far as looking into if we're able to expand, whatever, so. But first things first, I would look into the trailer to at least get that out there,
Mhm.
see if we're able to do that. And then, would you have to go to Jamestown as well?
No,
Just the state?
we deal with the state for all permitting on our properties.
That's, okay. All right.
Yep.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I just want to say that I'm in favor of the staff's effort to enhance customer service. That's a big issue for our board, and
Well,
I'm pleased that they're pursuing that.
I think for the entire board is,
Sure.
Peter.
Yep.
But you folks have your work cut out for you, so, just keep us updated, if you will, when you're ready to come forward. Let the executive director know. And we'll go on from there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice job. Next is the capital projects status report.
Yeah, I'll take that one. Thank you. Mount Hope Bridge dehumidification is moving along. We've got 3 different temporary services installed already down on our laydown yard on the Bristol side of the bridge, getting ready for Kiewit to start doing their work. They still anticipate starting erection of the scaffolding on the cables in January. We do not have a date yet. As soon as we have a date certain, we'll get some public outreach out, notifying everybody. The infra projects, I will talk a little more about that. So one of the most recent things that we have talked about is, so that included, this project includes deck rehab of all of the remaining deck, which is about 60% of the bridge deck area. Tower painting, steel repairs, compression link replacements. Of the 7 that are left, we did 1 compression link, as you recall. And it also included dehumidification. The current estimates on the project are higher than the original project budget, which is not surprising based on how the bids came in on the Mount Hope Bridge dehumidification. In fact, the increase in the project estimate is probably about the same increase we saw in the dehumidification for Mount Hope Bridge. We recently, just yesterday, had a meeting with Federal Highway, and we talked to them about the current estimates on this job. And our proposal to them was that we postpone the dehumidification, which we can do. We have some time left to do it. Postpone the actual dehumidification system based on the cost of it. The deck and the towers are more of a priority right now. But what we would do is to utilize the most of the grant funds that we have available. We would pull forward some of the other elements that are in the dehumidification job, such as installation of stair towers from the deck surface down to the anchorages, which will help enable maintenance of the future dehumidification system. Replacement of some suspender ropes in advance of the dehumidification system. We would also do a new cable comprehensive evaluation and inspection that would set us up for the dehumidification for the future. It would also give us, some information so that we can go forward with going and trying to pursue additional grant opportunities. That would all be put into this current project bundle, and it maximizes our use of the funds. So the grant estimate originally was, or I should say the budget was 137.5 million. Our current estimate, if we pull this work forward, and we postpone just the dehumidification system itself, is about 141 million. So that sets us up to utilize the most of our federal funds, the 82.5 that was granted to us. So we think that's the best option. Federal Highway agreed with our justification and our methodology moving forward, and they're working towards giving us some direction on how to do a grant amendment to reflect the revision of the scope and what we're looking to do. So I think we're in good shape with Federal Highway as far as our process moving forward with the project. And again, this would give us the maximum amount of work, get us the most amount of work done. And then the dehumidification project we would put back into our capital improvement program with a placeholder of, let's say, 5 years, and it could be done as soon as we can get federal funding in the future. So Federal Highway also has committed to keeping us up to date with any NOFOs, notice of funding opportunities. Jeff gets NOFOs also, but Federal Highway would, if there's anything coming down the pipeline, they would keep us up to date so that we can be poised to submit for those. The other thing we would do is, and we said this, Federal Highway will continue to design the dehumidification system all the way to 100%, so that it's shelf ready, and that would position us hopefully well to be able to apply for a federal grant and say, listen, we've got a project that's ready to go. We'll just update dates and everything in the contract and anything in the specs, and we can hit the ground running in the future. So that's the update on the info program. I think we're in good shape on that.
Help me understand some of this. The original budget came from, was this a design-build project, right?
Design, bid, build.
Design, bid, build.
Yes.
Okay, and AECOM designed it and...
3 different designers. So we have Majeski and Masters doing the deck design.
Mhm.
We have WSP working on the towers and compression link design, and then we have AECOM doing the dehumidification.
Okay,
So it's three designers.
and the contractor's Kiewit.
No, that's Mount Hope Bridge dehumidification.
Gotcha.
We have no contract on this, we're still in design.
Okay. Of those 3 components, which one did the revision in cost come from? The increase?
It's all of them, it's all 3.
So it's distributed among the
When
3
we
different...
initially submitted the grant application, it was almost 3 years ago now, so that original estimate was developed back then.
Gotcha.
And now we've seen increases in costs on everything, and now that we're on the deck design, we're at about 90% status.
Okay.
The towers, we also are at 90%. AECOM is around 30% of the dehumidification, but they have a pretty good handle on what the system will cost based on the bids we've got recently on Mount Hope Bridge.
But the cost increases that you're talking about came mainly from inflation, anticipation of
Yes.
future inflation,
Yes.
rather than scope, is that
That's
right?
right. That's
Okay.
right. There's no increase in the
I
scope of
understand.
work.
Okay,
Everything has proceeded, along the same scope that we submitted initially with our grant application.
gotcha.
But there's just been increases in the industry. I've been tracking, a lot of articles on the increase in costs, and a recent one in ENR, for example,
Yeah.
showed that over the past 5 years, across all construction sectors, there's been an increase in costs of 43%.
Yep,
That kind of falls along the same
It does.
lines of the increase we're seeing here and
Okay.
the increase we've seen at the Mount Hope Bridge dehumidification project, so.
good, yeah, I don't think anybody in the industry anticipated that kind of
Right,
inflation.
I mean, that's a huge increase.
Yep.
So.
Okay,
You've been warning us about that for a while.
I have been, and now it's coming to roost. So I mean, there's no surprise.
No,
We just now have to shift a little bit. The good thing is we have time. So we have time with the dehumidification. We'll set a new benchmark on the cable. We'll get the cable inspected. The last time it was done, I think it was 2018, and we'll be in a good position.
to your credit, you've been warning us.
and
all along.
the changes, the cost change keeps intact the original grant agreement, is that correct?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So you'll be applying for additional funding for the same project, or?
Well, only the dehumidification system. So the dehumidification project included some of these elements, such as the stair towers going to the anchorage.
Gotcha.
So that for access, things like that. We'll be able to pull some of those forward because the deck and the towers alone don't add up to the amount of the grant. It falls short of it.
Got
Again, we want to maximize the use of
Sure.
our money, so we'll pull forward the elements of the dehumidification that are not related to the system.
So that you could have them funded by the grant?
That's right.
Gotcha.
And now they'll be in place, and then when we go forward with dehumidification, those are elements that we
And
don't
you've
have
talked to
do.
Federal
We
Highway
already know.
about that?
We did, just
Right,
yesterday.
okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Thank you.
Further questions?
If I can just continue on the other projects for 2 seconds. Steel repairs and joint replacement construction for fishing pier access bridge and Jamestown Verrazano Bridge. They continue to do steel repairs on fishing pier access bridge. You don't see it because it's happening under the bridge. HVAC is just about complete. They're making final tweaks to the control system in the building. They had the units running just yesterday, and they were doing some balancing. The vessel strike vulnerability assessment of the Pell Bridge, we're waiting for the second draft, and then the final should be submitted in January. And it's about low ratings and inspections, again, they continue as usual. So, if you have any questions, I think.
Any questions? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Derek.
Thank you.
Next, Jeff.
I'll be brief as always. The first 4 months of the fiscal year 2026 was solid when compared to budget. Traffic was higher by 1%, and total revenue was higher by $2.3 million, or 13%. The primary driver of the higher revenue is due to higher average total revenue per vehicle of $3.09 versus a budget of $2.61. Operating expenses were lower by $281,000, or 5%, primarily due to lower personnel expenses as a result of open positions in maintenance and customer service and employees out on FMLA. This was partially offset by increased costs from a third-party vendor who is providing supplemental phone support for the authority's customer service department. Overall operating income was up $2.6 million, or 22%, and net income was up $4.7 million, or 98%, primarily due to higher investment income. When compared to prior year, total revenue was higher by $616,000, or 3%. This is driven primarily by higher bill by mail revenue and higher collections on past due invoices. Operating expenses were higher by $826,000, or 18%, primarily due to higher personal expenses as a result of compensation increases and the increases in the health insurance premiums, the additional cost of providing supplemental phone support to the authority's customer service department, the increased volume associated with DMV lookup fees, and the timing of bridge inspections year over year. With respect to net income was flat year over year at $9.4 million. And that's it. Take any questions you may have.
Thank you, Jeff. Questions? Okay. Next, the executive director.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and members of the board. So you hear me talk about customer service initiatives, and I hear the board saying back that you want us focused on customer service initiatives. Really, my goal, the goal of our, certainly our towing department, our goal is for our customers to need us less, to need to reach out to us less. But right now, they do need to reach out, and so we are trying to meet that need. But if we improve our systems and make things happen, make our website as user-friendly as possible, make our phone system as responsive as possible, improve things in our walk-in center, then we're hoping that our customers will not need to call us or visit us or reach out to us as often. What we have been recommending, and as recently as yesterday, we did a spot at Channel 10 with Channel 10 at AAA in Narragansett, because AAA has been a wonderful partner to us in our customer service. They have battery testers for our transponders in 3 of the AAA offices, and those are some of the busiest for Easy Pass business, and that includes Middletown, Narragansett, and Warwick. we have been scouring the earth for additional battery testers for the other 7 offices. So far, coming up empty-handed, only because the future of transponders is that no lithium battery will be needed in the future. So we're finding that it's hard to find on the market these testers for lithium battery transponders. What we are recommending to our customers that they do is what I've been calling a health check. Make certain you go on your account. Make certain that everything looks like it's in order. Are you being charged the right rate for your tolls? If you're not, that's a signal that something's wrong. Very often it's that a plate isn't on the account, or that the transponder, as Jamie mentioned, maybe the battery, if your transponder goes back to 2008, 2009, then it has done yeoman's duty for you, and you have gotten your money's worth, and it's worth the $10 to replace it with a new transponder. And as I say, the future will be sticker tags. But in the meantime, we do want people to make certain.
How far out are those sticker tags?
Probably within, Jamie and I talk about this often.
Yeah.
We'll be seeing them from neighboring states very soon. But the transition will very soon, as in the next month or so, we might see other states. However, people will transition slowly. No one will be required to turn in their lithium battery box. But if they apply for a new transponder, they'll be offered a sticker tag. So for us, it certainly is probably in the year ahead, maybe toward the end of the year, given all that we have
The
going.
end of 26?
Yes.
So if our neighbors, Connecticut, Mass, whomever, go to that sticker, will
Yes.
our transponders still work?
Yes, absolutely, and our gantry will read those tags.
And I was just gonna
And
say-
already,
We already do on some states, and with the box transponders, we will, obviously, the lawyers have phased them out as they go, but customers, obviously, some Rhode Islanders don't like change, and so if they want to stick with that, and that's fine too, it'll be compatible.
And vice versa, we'll be able to read the stickers.
Yes,
Okay.
yep, it's stickers just like a beach pass that goes on your car, or like a parking sticker that would go on there.
Here.
So, again, going back to my question at the beginning of the meeting, you're saying that you want to make improvements to the kinds of information that people have to reduce the number of issues that need to be dealt with on a person-to-person basis, right?
absolutely.
Could you give us an idea on for example, the battery issue? What portion of the people that actually have to physically come in or go to the various facilities need help with the battery that is improperly charged?
So in general, when people are getting charged $6 on their Easy Pass accounts, or they're getting an invoice because their license plate is not updated on the account, it might be a sole reason of, okay, your invoice really happened because your battery has failed, but it also happened because your license plate wasn't listed on your account, so it couldn't post
Right.
correctly. So with that, when replacing their transponders, they can go to a local AAA office, they can call our customer service center, we'll mail it out,
No,
and they can come in.
I get that, but I'm asking, for example, what portion of the issues that you have to deal with on a daily basis are associated with this battery issue, for example?
I would say it's a good amount. A lot of it is probably.
Good amount being
transponder.
like 50%, 60, 20%, 10%, what? Give me,
I would say like 55,
so
approximately.
about half of the issues you're dealing with are these battery issues.
Yes,
on
and
a
the
car.
other half are also invoices.
No, I get that.
Okay.
Will these new tag systems address the discharge and battery issues that we're talking about?
Well, the immediate issue is to get.
No, I'm not talking about immediate. I'm talking about when a full conversion over the tag system.
Yes.
Will that eliminate the walk-in
Absolutely.
issues with charging batteries?
Absolutely, I have
Okay.
a
So-
sample here. This is
Right.
a sticker
So what
tag.
you're
There's no
saying
battery.
is that over time then, the new tag system will eliminate about a half of your walk-in
It'll
issues.
decrease it over time, yes, but then yes.
over time.
Because they'll phase in over time.
It'll phase in
Because
over
of-
time.
So my next question is, what can we do as an agency to expedite that changeover? For example, when people come in to have their batteries charged on their existing, would that be a good time just to swap them out for a transponder with tag?
And
on it?
we're looking at that right now. There are,
Okay.
as to whether we do we actually have already been doing the interim messaging to the public. If you have a 2008, 2009, time to swap it out, pay the $10, get a new get a new transponder that will right now have a lithium battery in it. However, we're also planning ahead, and because it's soon enough.
My question is,
Should we
why
skip
offer another old technology when the new technology is available and we can begin swapping them out
It's
and
avail-
eliminating half of the walk-in
It's
issues that you have?
available, but we want the neighboring states to kind of be the guinea pigs per se, to do it first, learn from
Are there
them.
issues with them?
No, it's just that if you're rolling out new technology, there's always going to be risks. So it's one of those things that Massachusetts.
What are some of the risks associated with
Just
them?
new updates of just having a new system, for like it's a new way of transponders are being received.
So you
If I
need
could
new
add to that?
software systems? Yeah.
We have, it also works on the 900 megahertz
Right.
band,
Yeah.
which actually is under, is being challenged right now by another company that wants to occupy that part of our system. So, the boxes work on, they are called TDM boxes. This sticker tag technology is SEGO. It's a different means of reading. As I say, our new gantry can read those two, and then there's a third means, which is predominant on the West
The new
Coast.
gantries, do we have older gantries that don't?
We did have a gantry here that did
No,
not read
I mean
all.
now, right now.
No.
Okay. All right.
This gantry reads all.
So all of our gantries would read the new tags?
Well, let me ask you
Yes.
something. Let me ask you something before you say yes about that. Because now if new gantries go live, okay, will trucks get these?
Sticker tags would be for all vehicles
All vehicles.
that travel.
And if we're not replacing some of those old gantries that are out there right now, should they get up and running, will those old ones read that?
Well, I'll answer that, because we're in charge of those truck gantries. The gantries that we have already up are all being updated, so that the
Will
newest
they be able to
technology
read that, do you know?
will be upgrading them so that they have the new technology built into them.
That's where I was going.
And to add to that, the Easy Pass system requires that all Easy Pass agencies
Be able to do that.
read all the protocols.
That won't be us though. That would be them.
But this
Right.
one, we're a member of Easy Pass. and they're
Understood.
required. And as will any other
Correct.
agency that's a member of Easy Pass.
We're going through that entire process from the get-go. We're creating a new
So
back
they would have-
office
they would
system
have to become an
and
Easy
new
Pass.
hardware system. My questions have to do with whether or not we can eliminate over half of the walk-in issues here by simply expediting that kind of switchover.
And we're absolutely looking at that. We're not quite ready. This is, the box can be transferred from your personal vehicle into a rental car.
Right.
Once this is stuck on the windshield, it's there. So we're looking, and rental cars are a part of our business. We want people to have that flexibility to take their, and we have a new back office system that has lots of great features for our customers, but we're still, before we go, dive in on the new sticker tags, we want to make sure that everything's in order. So what we've been doing, actually, one of the things that I had this discussion on a radio show in the summer, and we talked about dead batteries, and enough people listened that it prompted people to start contacting us. So we did it again yesterday. We'll do a program to replace those transponders as we head into the era of the sticker tag.
Okay.
Keeping in mind, as I said, that there is a major challenge from a company that's trying to occupy the 900 megahertz part
And
of our bandwidth.
how are these other states dealing with that challenge?
We're all banding together, no pun intended, to both the IBT, the International Bridge and Tunnel and Turnpike Association, and the Easy Pass Group, have hired counsel and are opposing the petition of NextNav, which is trying to occupy that part of the bandwidth for a different purpose. And
What
we are.
purpose are they?
They, PNT,
Yeah.
which I actually locates, it's a system that locates people specifically within a building. And so it sounds like a great idea, but it has the potential to damage the tolling industry
Oh, I get
and
it.
other industries.
I get it, they're in
So
that
we
same,
are-
they are operating in the
yes,
same.
and
business.
so,
they
um,
petitioned for federal rulemaking, and over the next year, it'll
Did
shake
they?
out whether they are to occupy that space. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mr. O'Meara, if I could say one thing, the transponder issues are part of a good amount of our customer service, but that will always be a good part of our customer service. It's been since before this uptick of having customers needing to replace their transponders. Always, transponders need to be replaced and updated because of a battery always will be an ongoing issue until everyone transitions to the sticker.
Oh,
types.
sure,
Okay.
sure.
I just want to clarify that.
No, I get it. I'm just wondering if there are ways that you can expedite the move over and help these people out by making the transition easy, quicker, you know? I understand. Okay, thank you.
So we have, I did, the next item I had on my executive director's report also relates to customer service. As I said a little earlier, we are lean and we do a lot under the roof here. I think it's fair to say more so than any other tolling agency in the country. We have a lot of functions in-house. One of the things that we do in-house that virtually no other agency is doing at this point is the mail function. We have a volume of invoices that go out to people that don't have an Easy Pass or they don't have an Easy Pass account that's in good standing. So we have these invoices going out. We want our customer service personnel to be helping customers with substantive tolling issues. Why are you getting that charge at the wrong rate? Why are you receiving an invoice at home? You know, you received an invoice for a car that isn't yours. We want to be helping them with those issues. We don't want to be stuffing envelopes. So we are looking at outsourcing the mail function. It will, as I mentioned earlier, it will not cost any jobs at all. Our employees will say, thank you, because it's just, it will allow them to devote time to the substantive work. So that's the second thing. And other than that, I just wanted to note that the next board meeting is scheduled for January 21st, 2026.
All
Time
right.
flies.
Well, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, healthy New Year to all of you and your families.
You too.
And we'll see you next year.
Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a motion to adjourn? Motion to adjourn? So moved. That's it. Thank you.